Now, in this session, we explore who is at risk, children and adults. But what do we mean when we refer to adults and children who are at risk? Let's start with children. The Social Services and Wellbeing Wales Act 2014 and accompanying guidance define a child as a person who is aged under 18. And what is the definition of a child at risk? A child who is experiencing or is at risk of experiencing abuse, neglect or other kinds of harm, and has care and support needs, whether or not the local authority is meeting those needs. Ah yes, Tom. Tom is the son of someone who goes to our church, Angela. She's lovely, but she has seemed a little under pressure recently. Angela's sister, Kath, tells me her husband left her, and most of the time she brings up Tom, Alex and Jack on her own. We were in the church hall for our mother and toddlers event last Thursday morning. The kids were playing a game, the mums were chatting. Tom caught my eye. He bent over to pick up a ball one of the other boys had just thrown. He had this large red mark between his t-shirt and shorts. It was like a trainer mark, bright red. It was almost like someone had hit him really hard with a trainer. It went all the way from the top of his bum to the bottom of his back. Teresa saw it. She's Tom's godmother. We're good friends, and sometimes she'll pop over for a cup of tea. But strangely, she didn't think we should say anything. It's their business, she said. She said it was probably Angela's ex that did it, because Angela is lovely, she said. Even though she's run ragged, she would never dream of laying a finger on Tom. And she said, Tom's a right handful and can be really boisterous. Though, Tom's a gentle and kind boy. Strange. His character has changed, I guess. He's quiet. And I have noticed he can smell at times. I just couldn't keep this to myself. I decided to speak to someone, so got in touch with the provincial safeguarding team and told them everything I could remember. Adults can also be at risk, and as with children, it might be a temporary risk or a long-term risk. It might come from one difficult situation or set of circumstances.
Well, I'm the church warden. One of my jobs is tending to the church's community garden. It's my pride and joy. When it's fine, people will just sit on the bench by the roses and talk with me. I'll fetch them a cup of tea from the shed. Lovely Jane. After church, up she came to me in her chair parked next to the bench. She's a cheerful girl, usually. Oh, she'd have me for calling her that. I'm a fair bit younger than her, see. She seemed preoccupied. Penny for those thoughts, I smiled. She said nothing to start with. So I asked her, was the sermon that bad? No, she says. She says something about a burden, a family burden. She didn't laugh, so neither did I. I asked if she wanted to tell me more, to describe it for me. She sounded sad. That's not like our Jane. She says it's her boy, Matthew, the tall one. He lives with her, see, and Jane is out most days around town, at church, food bank, And her money seems to be flying out of her bank account. Matthew keeps her bank card for her because her hands don't work too well. I know it's him, she says. She hides a bit of cash here and there around the house, but he finds it. He's got a temper and all, which doesn't help. Issues of his own, I should say. But that's just it. Jane doesn't want to say anything. She's afraid it will break the boy. Imagine all her savings disappearing like water through the ground. So I say, Jane, would you be happy if I shared this with someone who can help? They will look after you and bring all this to an end. I know you must, she says, but please keep this in confidence. Now, listen, you know and I know that I must pass this on, but what of the fallout? What of her safety? I have a responsibility. It's my obligation as a Christian, as regards the law, as church warden, and as a friend. In any case, it's not about me. It's not about Matthew. It's about Jane. If you have any reason to believe or suspect that a child or adult either is being or is at risk of being a victim of any type of harm, abuse, or neglect, then you have a responsibility to pass on your concerns straight away. Because if it isn't safe, it isn't church.